Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Everything Kratom, the podcast about anything and everything Kratom. Great to have you with us on this Monday morning. Welcome back to the start of a new week, and I hope your weekend went well. My weekend was great. If you tuned in Friday, you know that I actually was in a wedding. I got to be one of the best men for my friend's wedding this weekend. It was awesome. We had a great time. It was a bit of a drive to get there, but it was a really pretty place, and all went well. And Kratom played a huge role. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. In a wedding, there's plenty of drinking. And if you listen to this podcast, you probably know that I actually don't like mixing alcohol and Kratom together at all. I think it's a poor combination. I think that it hasn't been studied enough, so I don't know if I trust it. But that aside, it just doesn't jive with me. Alcohol will kill the effects of Kratom pretty quickly for me. And also when I'm on Kratom, I don't really have the urge to drink alcohol. I really don't want it. It's not palatable to me. And it just doesn't feel like a nice combination. So I usually don't combine the two. Going into this wedding, I had a feeling that they would intersect at some point, but I wanted that to happen in an intentional way. So here's kind of what I did, because I knew that I was going to use Kratom. It was going to be a long couple days. There's the rehearsal dinner the night before, and there's the wedding, and then there's the wedding night party and everything. And Kratom really can help with that sort of situation. But then also I knew I was going to drink a bit. So what I did was the day before Friday, I was getting ready, and I was thinking, okay, Kratom's going to help me as we're driving to this place. And then that night, I'm not going to take any Kratom. We'll probably have some drinks. I don't want to have any Kratom when we're having drinks. So I decided to have my Kratom very early on in the day. And I took it right before I drove to this event. Now, I just want to pause there and say, if you aren't comfortable driving on Kratom, or if you're not used to the effects yourself and you don't know how it's going to, work when you're trying to drive, don't do this. I am very comfortable driving with Kratom in my body. I've done it many, many times, so it wasn't new to me, but I don't want to be encouraging this. Anyway, back to the story. So I took my Kratom, and then we went to the wedding venue. And I took more of a green, but I also wanted some white as well. So what I did was I took some green tie and some white tie. Green tie and white tie go very well together for me. It's one of those great combinations that just work really well, and I think that it's a great blend. It has a good amount of energy, but it lasts a long time from the green, and the effects don't go away, instantly. It's a slow wind down as well. So that's some of the reasoning of why I like it and why I took it. It helped last the drive. It helped me have energy when we got there, and it was still definitely in play and helping me as we unpacked, as we got dressed for the rehearsal dinner. But it had kind of wind down by the time we got to the dinner, and that was perfect timing because I didn't want it to really be doing much at that point. And then I was able to enjoy, a couple glasses of wine and not have to worry about the interaction at all. So overall, it was a really successful day getting to the venue. The next morning, which was the day of the wedding, I was more calculated about doing greens and then whites later on in the day because I knew it was going to be a long day and there wouldn't be hardly any drinking leading up to the event. So what I did was I wanted to do green Malay in the morning. I have been doing green Mang Da quite a lot recently, but I wanted to do green Malay because green Malay is the best mood booster for me. And lately, it's not that I've been in a bad mood, but I've just been having a bit of trouble. I've been missing my brother. And for those of you who don't know and are kind of new to the podcast, I lost my brother last year in January. So it's still a very fresh wound, something that I don't think will ever go away. But I'm very much feeling the heaviness, the weight of that. And I didn't want to bring that to the wedding, having been married in 2019, that's still kind of a new thing in my life. And it was just, the wedding day is all about you. everybody else comes for you. It's not about anyone else. It's your day, and it's something that you're supposed to remember forever. So it's a beautiful thing, and I didn't want to bring any negativity to this wedding. So I purposely did green mallet because I knew that it would help with my mood. And it certainly did. It got me jazzed. It got me really excited. It made me feel better about the world and, not covering anything up about how I was feeling about my brother, but it just made it so that I could put it aside for the day. Like, it's not something I had to deal with that day. So priorities, right? Priorities. So I prioritized that. So I took my green mallet. I took about 2 grams, and it was great. We had a great morning, early afternoon, getting ready. I decided to take my white Thai and my Indo white together because I wanted to have as much energy as possible. I wanted to enjoy this evening. It was going to be a great time. I wanted to dance and do all that. But I also knew that it wouldn't be lasting too long as I didn't include a green in there. So I took a small amount of both, just a gram of white Thai, a gram of Indo white. And that allowed me to really have this boost of energy like nobody's business, but to know that it wasn't going to be lasting well into the evening. And, in 5 hours, I probably wouldn't be feeling this anymore. And that'd be perfect because in 5 hours, that's when I would be, starting to probably have some alcohol. So that worked out, I'd say, next to flawlessly. Like, it really went amazing. And I had a lot of energy. The ceremony was great. It was beautiful. And the dancing got going. It was a lot of fun. When it came time to start having all the drinks and passing them around, I really wasn't feeling the Kratom that much at all at that point. I was feeling it a little bit, but when I had my first drink, I think the remaining feelings of Kratom went away. So I think that overall the experience was awesome. I had a great time. I think it was smart to do the green Maeng Da substitute with the green mallet instead, because although green Maeng Da might have worked better for energy levels, green mallet is the best mood booster that I've ever used, and I think that was a priority. So I'm glad that I did that. I think that it was good planning on my part, not trying to toot my own horn, but just, mentioning it. I think that it was good planning on my part to bring that just in case. So this is, not to serve as like even a framework for anyone else out there, but just as a reminder that there are many different uses for different types of Kratom that might work better for one thing than another, and the environment that you're going to be in and the people you're with and how you want to come off can be a pretty heavy influence in how you want to go about using Kratom. And so this is an example of how it was very helpful planning that out in my own life. So wanted to share that with you. That was my weekend. It was a whole lot of fun. Came back Sunday and just getting back to work today. Recuperating, very happy. So I hope that everybody's weekend went well and that your week is off to a great start. And yeah, let's do this. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your Monday. Be back tomorrow. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.